May we receive journeying mercies in each and every one of our. Ibab Oludamare, we pay homage to the Almighty God. Akoda Aye, the creator of earth. Asera Oru, the creator of heaven. We ask that you bless the minds of the one tuned into our united frequency. May we receive journeying mercies in each and every one of our endeavors. May this food for thought not only feed the mind, but the soul, and opens a portal to usher new life into our atmosphere. May this new life serve our greater purpose, and may we receive an abundance we never had the words to pray for. Ashe. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Good night, dark boy. Yeah. I ain't got no worries, yeah. I ain't got no worries. Every day is lovely, yeah. Ooh, money is energy, I'm independent. Ooh, universe telling me I gotta win. Credit score on fleek now. Co-creator, I'm a beast now. Getting rid of all these leads, yeah. Summer coming, it's my season. Wishes are coming, abundance and last. Take my emotions and put them in trash. Sophisticated, spirit educated. Evil can mess with my concentration. In this nation like incarceration. Yeah, they tried to kill us with that mental matrix. Fighting the power, your heart is sick. Your soul is power, can't confiscate it. We got the power, mama, we made it. Increase the vibrations and give me patience. Look at the stars, it's telling my course. Wars in the stars, but I got the force. God knows it all, he gave us the choice. The faster for cause, and drown out the noise. Set at the sun, I get what I need. Energy strong, so you can't defeat. If I'm having fun, I don't need a drink. Those are like guns that shoot at your brain. And no, I can't afford not to work on myself again, 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 again. Yeah. You know I can't afford not to work on myself again, 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 again. Yeah, yeah. I ain't got no worries, yeah. I ain't got no worries. Every day is lovely, yeah. Ooh, money is energy, I'm independent. Ooh, universe telling me I gotta win it. Credit score on fleek now. Co-creator, I'm a beast now. Getting rid of all these leads, yeah. Summer coming, it's my season. Wishes are coming, abundance and last. Take my emotions and put them in trash. I'd rather start my own business. They know that evil is trending. You keep your energy lifted. Do not sign the labels, that ain't real business. Yeah, offer you riches, yeah. Then bring you sickness, yeah. Ooh, and they will try to take your soul away. If they can, don't you say that they can. If they can, they don't care.
Hola, hola, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Infinity Spotlight. This is I am SCG13 and I minister Solution. Solution, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
What'd you think of that song? That was a nice song, huh?
I like it.
I like it too. It's called No Worries.
No worries.
That's why I went ahead and played it because I was like, no worries.
No
It's all
worries.
good. Everything happens for a reason. There has to have been some kind of miscommunication in some way. I don't really know how or where. I followed the instructions for this interview. I confirmed this morning or yesterday that this interview was going to happen, and I got the information on what to do. I see Miss Eternal Zion is on Instagram right now, and I sent a message. So hopefully she will go ahead and come through. The line is open for her to call. I will let you know why this interview came about and what happened. There is so much going on in the world, so much going on in our world. And one of the things that we have been exercising and taking movement on is separating ourselves from a tyrannical system. And in order to do that, it requires lots of study and it requires lots of attention to the things that are happening in your own life. And so when you take that dive, you start getting information on what to do. And a lot of times you can't rely on somebody else for your information, somebody outside of you for your information. At this time, that's not good enough. At this time, you have to make sure that the information that you're receiving is confirmed by the Most High inside of you. And so I was on the internet on one of the social media platforms. It had to be Instagram. And I see Eternal Zion's video about 508s, PMAs, private trusts, and ministries. And this young woman is like 24 years old. And, I'm watching her and I'm just watching her fire and watching how she shares this information. And I'm just like, how in the world did this happen? How? And I just got completely into it. I got inspired to connect to her so that we can talk to her. And so I did that. And, then I discovered, which by the way, the songs that I just played, that was by Eternal Zion. And so when I dove into her world, when I went into st-ammendment.com, I went and I saw a little bit more about what this being is about and what she came here to do. And it's very powerful. So I wanted to give her the spotlight because she is necessary. And people in her genre, in her age group, and even, the little ones. Because we got to do what the powers that were are doing. What do? They get to the babies. They get to them first, and they're trying to get to them now through this shot that they get at birth, and, trying to implement these COVID shots on babies. And so we need a revolution, and the revolution is with, and I'm not saying that it's just with the young folks, because in this society, we throw away aged people. We act like they don't matter. So I'm not saying that that is the only way. It's all necessary. We have to put everything into balance. But yeah, who's going to make the world better? The children. That's the only hope for the future, really, because as those of us that are following these instructions of a fake God continue to follow the instructions, people are going to, they're just going to fall off. They're gonna die off. Something else is gonna be created, and what that something else is, it just depends on how the world is vibrating now. And there's just a lot happening now, so much happening now. I'm gonna go ahead and play another one of my favorite songs from Miss Eternal Zion. There was just so many synchronicity. This young person has come onto the planet to raise the vibration through frequency, through music, through her mind, through what it is that she has to offer. And she is not the only one. There are so many beings that are here doing this work, and that time of us feeling like, there's only one Jesus, there's only one person, there's only, those times are over. And so today I wanted to share an example of a being, of a supernatural warrior goddess supernova. I mean, when I connect to the energy of this being, I connect to the energy of a Lisa Left Eye, that energy. She reminds me of Willow Smith. She, right. That energy, very high vibrational, probably not from, I don't even think she's from here, y'all. I think she's from another planet. Might be Venus, might be Saturn, I don't know. Might be Mars. But these beings are beings that, you remember when we had that interview with Dr. Delbert Blair? Yes. And he was talking about all these indigos and star seeds and all of these different beings that were coming in to raise the vibration of the planet, to equipped us, to help us during this time of great change that we're in right now. And she is among those beings. We have two of those beings in our family as well. And those beings are just people that recognize that this space here is not all there is. There is something beyond this flesh. There's something beyond this time, because time is just here and now. The way that we look at it, it's all a matter of perception, because for some of us there is no time. For others it's only time, and they're just completely ran by that concept of what time is. Their lives are now drizzled down to work a 9 to 5, have a nice long drive home and say hi to your family, maybe if everybody's not on the computer or doing their own thing, and then repeat and do the same thing. Oh, and be good, be a good person, and make sure you vote. Make sure you vote and you do all the things that they tell you to do, and then you maybe have an opportunity to a better life, maybe. And that we're starting to see that for some people is coming to a complete halt. It's coming to a complete halt because people are seeing that illusion that was fed to people over the years was some bullshit. It was all a lie. It's always been a lie to control people, and now the truth is coming out, and it's coming out so strong that it's making people panic. It's making people depressed. It's making people even more fearful. It's making people very doubtful of just what the world is, period, because so much has come to light that people don't know what to believe anymore. Furthermore, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. So I'm going to dive in a little deeper with Miss Eternal Zion. You guys can check her out at IamEternalZion.com. Also, on Instagram, you can find her at Eternal Zion. And if you see her on there, tell her what's she doing over there, because she's supposed to be over here. She should be over here, Easy. What you doing? All right, here's the Easy Eternal Zion song, and this one is entitled Look Up. Check it out.
My son of me. Oh, yeah. Look up, looking up. I see the galaxy, it's inside of me. Looking up, I see the galaxy, I see the jealousy.
to. I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta do this right now. Thank you. Yes. That round of applause was actually for me, for myself, because see, there was a time, once upon a time, something like this would have happened to us, and it would have been nothing but fire and flames at the disrespect and at the inconsideration. There would have been nothing but a straight up drag. You know what they say now, dragging people. But I realized that, at that time, that's what it needed to be. But at this time, it just has to be something different. And I refuse to allow a situation to bring my vibration to where I don't want it to be. So I'd rather look at things in another perception and say, one, everything happens for a reason. And this does not change my idea of this person in terms of the reason why I wanted her to be here tonight. You know what I'm saying? The work that she's doing. I can't, it's like all I can say is something must have happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened. And, I guess the reason why I'm, really thinking about it is because this is the second time that this happened. And it was like with the other lady, remember?
Well,
yeah. So it's just been really interesting too, because I've been wanting to connect with this divine feminine source is very powerful. And Felicia was the first woman to grace us on Infinite Earth Spotlight. So Ache, and shouts out to Felicia. But these things, when they happen, it's like we got to take control of all situations. And what happens in a situation like this for someone like me, what I had dealt with in the past were feelings of rejection, feelings of, what's wrong? What did I do? What happened? Why is this? And so all of these feelings start spiraling into the way that a person feels about themselves when situations like this happen. And for me, it was just something that I just had to kind of look at it, because it could be challenging not to get frustrating when you set up your day and set up your time and do certain things, because time, this energy of time is the most powerful thing.
Most valuable asset.
It's the most valuable asset. And when you're talking to someone who you think they know about the value of time and the value of people, and you confirm things, and then the communication stops, there can't really be anything but, no, this is just super miscommunication, something, I pray and that everything is all good and that she is in her highest vibration, because it's no, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. And, we will consider it, but we won't dive into it and just kind of like let it soak us in. Let me tell you the reason for this podcast today, this broadcast, this update, is so that people are aware that just recently we got information, and this information told us, and you guys could look it up. You got to look up everything, you'll find it, and just don't get lost in the world of looking everything up and not doing anything. But the IRS is hiring over 180,000 people, and they're hiring about 80,000 people, over 180,000 people, and I'm not sure exactly what the amount is, but it's a lot of people that they're hiring. And they're hiring these people to come after small businesses, LLCs, people that decided to stay at home and work at home and create their own businesses, Cash App, PayPal, all of these different things. They did this because, people, we kind of all knew that this was coming at some level. And they knew that it was coming too. When I say they, I'm talking about the powers that were. And so now they're getting ready to make sure that they come after everyone for any money that has been made that has not been reported to the system, to their company, to their company because that's what it is. The United States is a corporation. It is a company that has fooled people into thinking that it is
Country.
a country. It is not a country.
It's just like Target.
There you
just
go.
Like McDonald's.
There it is.
It's just like Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's a corporation.
And they got people paying allegiance, pledging allegiance to this corporation.
Just like the Federal Reserve System, that's just a corporation. The Internal Revenue Service, all these different things, they're private corporations.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing federal about them. It's nothing national. It's not, it's not this big deal that is related to these titles, these names.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like you see any other company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And people are starting to know this truth now.
Mm-hmm.
There is a book that you can get, and the book is a $5 book that you can get. What is it, on Amazon?
Yes, Amazon.
And the book is titled What?
Introduction to Your Straw Man.
Introduction to, oh, you know what? We took the book out of here.
Yeah. It's Introduction.
Well, before we finish, it's Introduction to Your Straw Man. And a lot of people are talking about the straw man. They're talking about, this has been around for a long time. But a lot of people are getting more hip to this information, if you will. You can go into the video section at the Master Vibration 13 layer, and you can find videos about the birth certificate and the straw man and all of these different concepts. And lately, we were talking about the Sesticate Trust that was created based on everybody's birth certificate. And all of this information is researchable. You can review it. You can check it out. But you can even go deeper than that and just ask God what it is. Ask God what the truth is on all this information. And I'm sure if you ask that question, the truth is going to come to you. It just will, because that's how it works. And so when you start looking at this information, if it makes sense to you, only if it makes sense to you, can you move forward with it? If it does not make sense to you, and to you it sounds like it's some kind of a conspiracy theory or whatever, and I'm only saying that for the sake today because today we're doing this broadcast openly, so it's hitting, the Facebooks and the Twitters and all of these different things because we made this particular broadcast like that for today. But those that we normally talk to, that are members of the Private Member Association, which is Master Vibration 13, Church of Self-Mastery, if you're in here, then you already know what we're talking about. And so you recognize the codes and you know what you have to do. And there's a lot of different ways to your freedom. This is another reason why we were bringing Eternal Zion here, because this is coming from a perspective of a young person living in a different world than what I live. I'm 51 years old. My experience is completely different than anybody's. You know what I'm saying? It is like that for all of us. We connect with people on certain frequencies. But this path of true freedom is the solo journey. And on this journey, you're going to see a lot of different faces a lot of times. Reflections of yourself from now to past lives to your future selves. You're going to find that here. And then with that information, it is up to you to decide what you're going to do with it. What are you going to exercise? What are you going to be here now? What are you creating? Because that's what it's all about. What you are creating with your mind, with your thoughts, with your energy. What are you giving it to? It's just so funny because this week, not this week, we've been on a break in August. Right? But I made this agreement to talk to Eternal Zion. So I was like, I have to make good with my word. And so last week I hit her up and I was like, apologies for not getting to you sooner, but I want to make this happen. And so we made an agreement to make this happen today. But prior to that, our last broadcast to our private study group, we were talking about triggers. And this, for me, what is happening now in this moment, it has been something that has triggered me my entire life. It has triggered me to be not thought of, or to be dismissed, to be unappreciated, to be so many words that we could dissed, ghosted, um, unvalued. Um, yeah, all of those things. Because see, when you make commitments with people and you don't, because see, all you got to do is use your words. You use your words to communicate, and there's so many different ways for us to communicate right now. And now we're living in a space of real people that are like about it, that are not afraid of each other, and we're not afraid to honestly communicate and say, you know what, I was looking at this, and it didn't fit. Right. So I have to cancel. That's one thing that I got to give credit to Miss, the lady that did it last time. She didn't care how much, time was wasted, blah, 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 whatever. But she at least communicated and said, nope, not doing it. Right. You know what I mean? So there's levels to all of it. And here's the thing, all of it has to be released no matter what. And that's why I'm taking this time to transform this energy into something that's beneficial. I appreciate those of you that came here live. Vanessa, thank you so much for being here. She says, believe it or not, this is perfect. Something is going so right now. That touched my corazón because, and that's my heart for those of you that are not bilingual. But it's just a matter of taking advantage of the moment, and you being here, and confirming that is just a confirmation that yes, something is going so right now. And I love that. And we're not gonna, by any means, are we going to stop the work of Eternal Zion and what she's been doing and what she has put in. I know that there's a reason for everything. And if it's not that she just wasn't feeling it, then we have to honor that. And I'm going to honor that by playing another one of her songs that I really connected with. And this one was Dream Big. It's Eternal Zion. Check it out. Dream Big. You can find Eternal Zion on Spotify. Eternal Zion on Spotify. She has a lot. She has a lot of work. She's been doing a lot of things. What has really caught my eye, and one of the things, because I was actually a little concerned, the fact that she's out in the public and she's doing this work, sharing this information, this truth with people in the way that she is. And you already know what happens when you start sharing information that's true, that's powerful. People start, they target you.
Yes.
And so, I want to make sure always that I'm sending high vibrational positive thoughts for this young woman, because this work and what's happening now, we are at war. It's like, I think that people had a different perception for what war was when people were talking about, oh yeah, there's going to be a war. And people keep talking about, the war in the Ukraine, all these different things that are going on. And all of those things are just kind of like distractions and programs making you think that what's happening is not really happening. The war is for your soul. The war is in the mind. Whatever you think about, that's what becomes so. And they have done such a great job of polluting the minds of the masses that people are thinking low vibrational things, and then they're seeing those things manifest into reality, into their experience. And this experience that they end up having will take them to a deep depression. It will take them to dark places that they're not able to get themselves out of, because what happens is they get prescriptions for medication. And we already know what these prescriptions and what this medication does. And we also know that the powers that were, their main attempt, their main goal is to decalcify people and to make people not think, to wipe away their third eye, to disconnect us from our God particle. And that cannot be done. And you know what? I'm saying that it cannot be done, but it can, and it has, and it's done in a lot of different ways. It's done by injections. It's done by the rape that is happening right now to all humanity through jabs, through all kinds of different things, through the sounds, through the music, through the visuals, all of this information that's pouring in, along with the EMF radiation, the 5G, the eons, all of this toxic pollution, digital pollution that's coming from your cell phones, from all technology that exists. This technology is not going anywhere. And so they've been doing this. Why? Because they want to disconnect us with God. And so when you disconnect from the source, then they're able to have full control. They've had a lot of control all this time, but the full control happens when you ultimately make the choice that you are choosing an artificial God outside of your God that lives inside of you, the real God. This is not about any kind of religious dogma. As we know by now, we are the things that we believe in. Those are the things that become our religion. And those of us that have chosen ourselves, we have proclaimed it, that we are our own religion. I am my own religion. The church is me. The temple is me, always. And so we have to separate the idea of what church and religion was in the past. And we have to now come to the church and religion that is within ourselves. And that is what we have to rely on. That is the God that we have to rely on. Because any God that is causing you to fear and to be scared and to be, panicking in this time, that's not a true God. That's not like real. That's some evil, crazy, psychotic ass shit. That's what that is. And this energy is pulling it, is coming down on everybody on every angle. There is every situation that needs to exist to trigger you is going to happen. So how are you handling it? What are you doing during these triggers? How are you transforming the information and the situations? And this has to be questions that you're asking yourself to yourself all the time. This is not like, oh, when I'm in front of people, I'm going to act like this. How are you acting to the triggers that are happening in your life with yourself? Because all this fakery of I'm going to front and I'm going to act like this in front of the crowd because we're on air right now. But then when we're off air, I'm going to have a heart attack, or I'm going to get mad, or I'm going to be pissed off. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to do that, because guess who's watching all the time? And guess who is feeling your magnetic energy? The Most High, God Source. And this magnetic energy is magnetic. So guess what happens? It comes right back to you. So go ahead and express your feelings and your emotion and everything that you want, that you need to feel in that moment, and just learn how to transform it, and you won't have a problem. You won't have a problem with everything that's happening, because look, it's more to come. They're in a hurry now. I think we already told you that by 2024, they want to have all the children on the blockchain. Not just the children, but the children's parents and everybody else that believes in all of that stuff. Aina, thank you for listening. Some people can't get through on the Spreaker chat. We're also live at mastervibration13.com. But Aina says it's so true. It takes time because the conditioning is so deep. It is
the correct name of the book is Meet Your Straw Man and Whatever You Want to Know.
Meet Your Straw Man and Whatever You Want to Know. You can get that book for $5. And that book is going to give you many, many truths.
Our term has been stated as $1 million worth of game for $5.
$1 million worth of game for $5.
Yeah.
So I do want to also share that our guest today, if you go to I Am Eternal Zion, you're going to see that she has a lot of things that she's able to help people with. And one of the things that she helps people with is ministry, setting up your ministry. And for $2,500, she will assist you in setting up your ministry. There's a lot of people that are doing that are offering those services, between $2,000 and $10,000 for that service. And it's just so interesting because we already know that money and prices to things have to be code so that people could respect and understand what it is. But please know that the right for you to be a minister, for you to be a self-governed individual, it is protected by the First Amendment of the Constitution. Congress shall make no law. Faith-based organizations are very powerful, and whatever it is that you believe in, that is your religion, that is your faith, that is what, and your congregation is you, your family, you, yourself, and Most High, that is your congregation. There's so many different ways to claim and proclaim your freedom on this land. There's so many ways to claim your sovereignty, and it doesn't have to be how anybody else has done it. We like to bring examples here of what other people have done. An infinitaire is a person that attracts wealth infinitely because they live in their passion. An infinitaire is a person that recognizes, and I say a person and I don't want to say person. An infinitaire is a soul being that recognizes their connection to source and knows how to access it to get whatever it is that they need and desire. That is an infinitaire. So the people that we bring to you on this spotlight are people that are disconnected from an old system and creating their new system. So it's not going to be people all the time that make it on the spotlight. There's not going to be people, every single week we're going to have a new guest. Do you know how long, and it's not even how long, how deep you need to go to access your freedom, because it's not the paperwork. It's not the money. It is you. It is what you're knowing. It is your mind. It is when you recognize the truth of what the truth is and you stand on it, you immediately become a changed person. You immediately become an infinitaire. You recognize who you are, and no one can take that from you. Nobody can take your value away from you except for you. Except for you. And a lot of times when you're wearing your devil hat, we do that. One of the other things that I wanted to mention about, did I talk about the PPP loans yet? I haven't said anything about that. No. Okay. So I want to mention the PPP loans. Anybody in the hood knows what a PPP loan. And when I say the hood, I just mean everybody really. But the PPP loans were put out there. They were designed to trap people in the hood, people that were going to hustle and do whatever they had to do to survive. And see, this whole world is a hood. Didn't what's her name said that the whole world is a ghetto? She said it. Y'all know who said it. Yes. That was India Ari. Okay. The whole world is a ghetto. And she ain't the only one. I'm sure Stevie said it. I'm sure a lot of people have said that and recognized that the whole world is a hood ghetto. Yeah. Well, anyway, that idea and that PPP loan situation was created to trap people so that they could fill the jails, so that they can trap people into going into their systems. They not only have made it so that anyone can get a PPP loan if you say the right things or do the right motions. I personally don't know anything about PPP loans as a personal experience because I do not consent to any of their offers at all. I am private for real. I don't fool around with them at all. So unless I'm holding them accountable for something, that's a whole different situation, and we're not going to get into that today. But the PPP loans, it was recently reported that celebrities and people in the 1%, well, not even, I don't even think that, because all celebrities aren't in the 1%. We're not going to go ahead and tell that lie. But celebrities and people, influencers and different things like that, that are part of the, they're going all the way in the system. Like, they're loving it. Those people were forgiven. Their loans were forgiven. Anyone else is looking at 25 years for fraud as soon as their accounts received the loan and the loan, was used. People are going to get all of their assets repoed.
Yeah. They've even extended the amount of time.
Thank you for that. Yes.
To investigate this scenario, where it was 5 years, I believe now it's 10. I'm trying to find that little thing.
So for those of y'all that might not have heard that, they've extended the amount of time for them to do their investigations from 5 years to 10 years. That means that they got 10 years to just start taking everybody in. And you better believe that they're going to make very
good use.
Well, and they're going to make very nice offers to those people that are going to be working for the IRS. It has also been said to me, but I don't have that in front of me, so I'm going to tell you to go ahead and research that. But that in the fine print, the IRS people, these new people that are going to be hired from the IRS, are going to be given permission to, terminate people. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? To, take action and, yeah. But, there's a lot of information going on in the world. There's a lot of things that are being said, and I wouldn't put it past them to go in and take matters into their own hand and do what they got to do. I don't know. But I don't know what the details are for the new employees of the IRS. But I do know that a lot of people are coming into awareness of the truth and what the truth is. And you can't be fooled by the ones that are still in the dark. If they're in the dark, they're going to be in the dark until they're tired of being in the dark. And this opportunity that people have to awaken is forever. You're not going to lose your chance. The window is, I'm not going to say that the window's not closing, because there's a lot of opportunities that are ceasing. However, from now to 2025, you really got some time to get it together. Beyond 2025, it's just going to be different conditions. But this world doesn't end. This evolution is continuous. And the world that has been created for those that are vibrating on a low frequency, their world is going to continue to exist. The pimps, the players, all of that's going to continue. It's going to be on an elevated level. It's going to be very magnified. And the results are going to come very fast. And the detriment is going to be very low. But it's still going to exist. And those that want to get out of it will still have an opportunity to, but they're going to have to dig deeper. They will. But nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible for God. And the moment that you choose God, everything opens up. And this is not even about, it's so funny because when I say that, I always kind of laugh because it's like, oh my gosh, I sound like, a church person. But I will say that I'm my church, and I praise in my temple all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my synagogue is always open. So it's a new language, and I have to remind myself of that, and that it is okay. And that it is okay to honor God in the highest way that I can and not be scared of the, because people, whenever you say God and then you say something like, you say God and then you say fuck, and then people get mad and then they'll say, oh my gosh, that's blasphemy and how dare you. And it's just, it is a language that was created by many gods. All of these languages were created by God. It's just a matter of your heart and what you're using and what you're doing. And that goes a lot deeper than a word that's coming out of your mouth, although we do know that words are power. But Solution pulled up the video, and I want to just let you guys check it out. We can just
you have
play
to go
it
to
from
your
here.
Instagram. It's not.
It's not playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on Instagram. Though.
All right. I'm going to look for that.
I guess you could get it. So you can see when I hit it, it doesn't. It
okay. Well, I downloaded the Instagram, so I'll play it from here. Yeah. And then we'll see. And again, there's a lot of videos that are passing around. You have to look at things and go with what makes sense to you. Mm-hmm. And when I heard this, it just...
They had 5 years to catch up on this.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait. Fraud. Here we go.
They don't...
Okay, let me start it over.
Unmuted.
5 years. They had 5 years to catch up on this wire fraud. They no longer have 5 years, they have 10, so they don't have to be in any particular hurry. Now, if you mess with more than one agency across the board, they're going to notify the other ones, get your house in order. See, when you filled out the application, that was a charge. I want to say that was 2 to 5 years, but it's been a while since I did this video. I'm not doing the research. You got to do it. But wire fraud itself, once you had that money transferred into the bank, it was 25 years. Let me tell you what they're looking for, because they finna flag your account. If you had more than one PPP come to your one address, they're going to flag you. If your income tax returns for your business do not line up with what you told the SBA, they're going to flag you. If you didn't have a business register when you filled out that application, they're going to flag you. If you purchased anything, if you started a business, if you used that money to fund a new business, they're going to confiscate all of it. The equipment, all of it. If you own anything, get it out your fucking name. Transfer that property. Start looking for a place for your children to go, because the United States is in the business of free labor, and they do not mind sending your ass to the penitentiary. They did it for the specific fact of sending you to the penitentiary, and they will build more. See, this is federal time. You will not seal these records. You got to be pardoned by the governor or the president. You done fucked up. If you have children who took this loan out, take them to see an attorney, because they're going to need it. If it's any time for a family to get together and take care of this thing right here, it's going to be now. Y'all think that this was something small. This was by design. They had people called forecasters that knew who would take the money and how they would get it. They set you up again. Y'all thought I was blowing smoke up y'all ass. He's signing bills in the law to make sure that they have an extended period of time. He done hired a special prosecutor. They firing people at the Chicago Housing Authority. 6,280 people are about to lose their housing and catch a federal charge. They can wipe their ass on their degrees to the tune of $135 million stolen from the SBA. Right now, currently, they have prosecuted about 1,000 cases, and altogether it's about $1 billion worth of PPP money. I'm going to say it again. Get your house in order, and whatever money you got in the bank, get that goddamn money out the bank. Transfer that property.
So when she's talking about transferring property, this is why we had the guest that was coming on today. We're going to be talking about these things. And if this is your first time checking out this broadcast, look up 508C1A private member associations, faith-based organizations. You have to do this research on your own before you find someone to help you to do that, because you have to know what it is that is happening. You have to, this is a way of waking up to your own truth. This is not a thing where you pay somebody. I mean, yeah, you could pay somebody to do it and handle your paperwork and stuff, and that's fine. But who's going to exercise your rights? If you don't exercise your rights, what is the solution?
You have no rights.
You have no rights. And only you could do that. So it doesn't matter how great or how fly or how flashy a person is, how much money they look like they have. They're not going to be able to help you out of your mess. Only you can take yourself out of your mess. And the mess that has been created in this corporation of what the United States is could be undone by you, but you got to wake up and figure out what it is. And so you are able to move your assets in trust. It has to be private trust. You can move your asset by having a faith-based organization that can house everything that your birth certificate name bond holds. There's so many things that you can do, and it all has to do with trust law. And I'm not going to get into it a whole bunch here, because when I'm telling y'all we are private. We are not here for a whole bunch of viewers and listeners and all of that stuff. We are here for those that are ready to get it started, that are ready to position themselves for what's ahead, for what's actually here now. Because I'm saying for what's ahead, I mean, we do want to stack some silver and do the things that we have to do for what's ahead. But this situation that is happening is here right now. And that's why it's so important that you have this information. Those of you that took the time to check us out today and get this information, don't play. Everything happens for a reason. I'm going to suggest that you take a look at what is offered in the Infinity Spotlight. Take a look at I'm Minister Partlow and what he has to offer, because he too can help you get your ministry started and support your ministry for $60. Yeah, I said it. A lot of people don't really appreciate that, though, because they're like, $60?
Pay more in taxes, though.
Yeah. And here's the thing.
Mathematically, it's mathematically sensible at the end of the day.
Yeah. And actually, I'm saying that it's $60 because you can get started like that. But it's actually $1,000 investment, because you want to stay with your studying for at least a year. And he is offering studies every Tuesday and every Thursday. And he is making it so that you can ask him any question about your situation, and he's going to give you that information. And that's what the contributions are for. But $60 will get you your paperwork and your associate, all of the things, your articles, all of the things that you need to at least get started, so that you can start getting curious about this power that you've had, because you were ordained since you came out of your mama's womb to be a servant to humanity. God's servants of the all. That is what we are. And those that recognize that truth will always know what to do. So if you're needing help and you need some assistance, you are always welcome to come to mastervibration13.com. Everything that you need to get you started will be there for free. And you know what? I don't even like to say free. It is your energy, and your energy is very valuable. So your presence there is very valuable, but it's there for you to know that. But see, now when you're really ready to get down to the nitty gritty, then yes, you must make an investment. If you would like to work personally with the solution or myself, you must make an investment. But that investment, before there's any financial investment, you have to make that investment on your own energy. You got to put in the time. That's what it is all the time. And we have to really start getting in line with these fundamental truths, these laws of energy and vibration and rhythm, how it works, how it really works, so that we can make it easier for ourselves, so that we can flow better in life. It's a lot of distractions. So many distractions, and they come in many forms. You can't let yourself be distracted by somebody that you think that is on your frequency. Because if they're really on your frequency, guess what? They're there on your frequency. And when they're not, they're not. You can't fake that shit. It's as real as this moment right now. And whatever's here in this moment is what's real. And what is not is not. You got to figure that out for yourself. This is the 21st of August.
Yes.
We're going to continue to take this time off for our next mission. I want to take this time and say thank you very much to Eternal Zion for allowing me to go through this and work through this and flow in my divine energy, and still be able to love you and give love to everyone that has taken the time to be here with us in this moment. Your time, your energy is so valued. It really, really is. And I do not take that lightly anytime that anybody takes any time of their day to listen, to look, to pay attention, because that's the money, your energy, your attention. Let me look at my phone before we get out of here so I could see if there's something that you want to say. Ina, I appreciate you. I appreciate those quiet ones that are listening and are feeling a little shy. I will open up the line, 951-821-5899. That's always the number when we're live, 951-821-5899. If you have something that you want to say, you can call in within the next minute. I'm going to end it with another little tune that I like from our little firefly, Eternal Zion. So I'm going to give you guys 60 seconds. Most of the time, you guys don't have too much to say. Vanessa Giles, I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you that are checking us out later in the archives. This is going to be available for those of you that weren't able to check it out live. You are free and welcome to share this with anyone you like. So this podcast is going to remain open so that the public could share with other people. We're starting a tour 2023. We're going to be in your cities. If you are part of Master Vibration 13, Private Study of Yourself, I Syndicate, Infinite Air Ministries, Noble Ministers Network, then we are going to be coming to your town, seeing you eyeball to eyeball doing this work. So I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Don't forget to pay a visit to IamEternalZion.com, and I'm going to leave you guys with this one that is, oh wait. Let's see, she ain't playing. She had a lot of stuff.
Don't forget to purchase Meet Your Straw Man.
Don't forget to purchase Meet Your Straw Man. $5.
You can't beat $5. It gives you the supporting information to statements like, taxes are not law.
They are not. Taxes are not law.
So it just gives you all this information that backs up statements that make people sound the utmost crazy, but they are actually in quite the logic existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can't be worried about being called crazy either.
No.
It got to make sense to you. If it makes sense to you, let them call you whatever it is that they call you.
Yeah. That don't mean it's true.
That's right. Solution, anything else?
Nope. Just wanted to reiterate that. I think that's a big one. That's a great read. And it's not difficult.
No, it's not difficult at all.
To the point with validation.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us today. And do not allow the distractions to take you over. Check it out.
Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. Don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. Yeah. Don't you get distracted. Yeah. Don't you get distracted. Yeah. Don't you get distracted. Ooh. Watching your TV, you sit on your couch. Your heart is telling you time to get out. Playing your games, excessive amounts. Fighting depression, you need to get out. Addicted to sex, keep that playboy around. Nicotine fit, no intention to help. Sunken place, time to get out. Don't drink the tea that they put to your mouth. They like the shooters, they want all the guns. They in the streets and they wanna have fun. This is the reason they call it the trap. They like to tell you it's money you like. You can't deny me cause I'm spitting facts. Money and power keep your soul intact. No age is coming, it's coming real fast. I know I get it, I think I'll be blessed. Lighting your energy, sit in the sun. Jupiter telling me mercy will come. Saturn is telling me keep having fun. Saturn is telling me keep having fun. Obsessed with material, it is imperial. I keep it lyrical. I am so cynical, I eat my minerals. I am the general, like taking literal. I don't trust doctor cause they could be pitiful. Ooh. Yeah, that's why I stay to myself, cause They don't want to help. I know they want well. Ooh. Don't you get distracted, yeah. Don't you get distracted, yeah. Don't you get distracted. Ooh. Watching your TV, you sit on your couch. Your heart is telling you time to get out. Playing your games, excessive amounts. Fighting depression, you need to get out. Addicted to sex, keep that playboy around. Nicotine fit, going central to how. Sunken place, time to get out. Don't drink the tea that they put to your mouth. Ooh. They hiding the truth, cause they in positions they don't wanna lose. Praising these deities keep you confused. I'ma make sure that my people won't lose. Born in this game and they tell us the rules. In high dimensions I can't be controlled. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. They know I'm the realest. Ooh, 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 ooh. I just get these digits. Ooh, 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 ooh. I know I'm a healer, healer. I know I'm a healer. I be in this light, yeah. I be in the night, yeah. Darkness in my life, yeah. We gon' get it right. Don't you get distracted, yeah. Don't you get distracted, yeah. Don't you get distracted. Don't get distracted. Ooh. Watching your TV, you sit on your couch. Your heart is telling you time to get out. Playing your games, excessive amounts. Fighting depression, you need to get out. Addicted to sex, keep that playboy around. Nicotine fit, going central to how. Sunken place, time to get out. Don't drink the tea that they put